What we're going to be doing today is talking about something very important and something I use almost every day. It's called Grep.
You have successfully dialed Coder Trader.
So, Grep is a very convenient tool that lets me find bits of information or specific lines I want within big files. So, it's just going to be a command in Linux, and the way it works is that you type your command grep, and then you type whatever pattern you want, and then you follow it by the file. I do it a little bit differently. What I do is I pipe things together. So I cat the file, then I grep it. But hey, it's preference. It's your own preference. Now, I'm gonna give you an example here. So this is a log file from a WebSocket connection with one of the crypto exchanges. And essentially, you've got the timestamp, you've got what type of data we're receiving, and then what type of log it is. We've got the timestamp, so the timestamp in human readable form, and then the timestamp in milliseconds since 1970. Yes, 1970. And then ripple, which is the symbol, and then you've got the size here, the bid, the sizes on the end, and the actual price, the bid ask here. Cool. So this is fairly long, and what I would do is I'd want to use grep to find maybe specific information in the file. So for example, what you could do is you could say, maybe I want to find, so you, for example, an error occurred at this timestamp. This is just a very made up example here. So I'm just going to copy that. And I want to find that specific line where the error occurred. So I just go grep, and then the file was in grep lessons, and it's called order book log, right? And then here, I'm just going to put whatever I want to find, right? Which was the timestamp. And then grep will return the lines every time it sees this pattern. So let's run it and let's see what we get. So we got one line matching that. So that's great. So maybe we want to find all the times perhaps there's a disconnection, right? So we can just write, you know what? We can even say dis, right? Dis, we don't have to. So there we go. So that gives us every time the WebSocket was disconnected there, which, as you can see, is very handy if you're monitoring trading systems and things like that. So let's get back to the slides and let's talk a little bit more about grep. So these are examples of how to use grep. Now, grep can be case sensitive or case insensitive. You just have to specify a little command like -i right here, right? Now, there's actually loads of commands and you can look them up. You can look them up here. So I've listed them in this beautiful table. So feel free to go through that. But if you're like, oh, there's too many commands to memorize, what you can do with many Linux commands is that so we just get Control-L, get rid of that. We just go grep and then -h, right? Will usually give us something. Obviously here, nothing happened. It says try --help, which we can try now. So I haven't memorized every command, but sometimes I just read the prompts and I get what I need. So there you go. Gives us this beautiful description of what's going on and all the commands. So if you ever don't know what's going on, just go --help on the Linux command and you should be able to get something. So here what this example shows, right, is if you want to find an error. So we go back to our log file. Obviously, I don't think there are any errors here. We printed everything out as info, but say for example, there was an error, right? So maybe I'm actually just going to modify the file. I'm going to modify the file and pretend that specific line is an error. So what I'm going to do for our example, let's just go down here. So error. So if we log things as an error, right? And now what I can do is I'm just going to go to our terminal over here, clear all that. And I'm just going to mix that up. I don't know where that is. And so what I want to do is I want to look for errors in our WebSocket log. So grep, what are we looking for? We're looking for errors, right? Errors, and we're going to be looking in that file. So that file there. And where did it go? Yeah, so it printed. So that is where the error occurred, which is the error we generated there. So that is a very common thing I use. So how I log it is I always put the type of log, and then if there's an error, I can just later on use grep. Now here's a cool one. Here's a cool one that I actually like. Now say you have an error, right? And you want to discover all the lines before the error, what was leading up to the error. So you just go, you type that command in, but you have a dash A. So A is for 4. Wait, hold on. I think it's B, right? Actually, I don't remember. I don't recall. So this is a good time to use our little help command, right? This is good. So dash B, this is what I want before context. All the lines leading up to what I wanted, right? So I'm going to control, and I'm just hitting the up arrow to get all my previous commands, right? So this is what we want. Oh, not the disconnection. We want the error, right? We want the error. Oh, that's interesting. Where's my error? Where's my little trusty error? Not there. Don't worry. We can retype it. So we want the error, and we want all the lines leading up to before the error, right? And we'll just specify how many lines. So let's just say 5. So I made a little mistake. It's actually capitalized error. No problem. So we want 5 lines before, and that's how we do it. Just dash B 5, right? Cool. And that is that right there. Now, what about if we want 5 lines after it? So we just change that to an A. Cool. Now, what if we want 5 lines either side of it, before and after? You could do like dash B and dash A, but there's actually C. So do that, and then we get 5 lines either side of it. So that's a little cool trick I like to use, actually. Now, let's keep going. So you can do regular expressions as well. That is a whole thing, which is fun. And here's some more examples. So, for example, you want to look for to-dos in certain files, or here's an example of IP addresses, which can be a bit intense. Or here's an important example. So maybe you're looking recursively in files, right? But you want to exclude certain files. So this exclude command is very useful, I think. Now, this is an interesting one. Homework, try this one. So go to all the processes you're running, right? Go to the processes you're running. So this PSAUX is how to get all that. Now, then you want to grep all the processes that are run by Python. So that is that. So just have a look, actually investigate that, have a look. I use this one a lot. So sometimes when I want to see if a program is on or off, I look at that. So for example, a trading system or a trading risk management system or something like that. That's what I use there. Yeah, so that will be the end of that. Now, if that was helpful, please do join our Coder Trader community. So what we do is we teach people how to code. We take those coding skills and apply them in a trading context. So all about that quantitative trading. And Grep is a very important part of the quant trading life. So I hope you got some value out of this, and I will see you in the next one.